Hi, this is Dr. Dolopo, and today we're going to talk about understanding your body and fertility. One of the things I really want to point out is that fertility isn't just one piece, it's a bigger whole. And oftentimes, when I'm talking with my fertility clients, I bring up other parts of our health to really bring home how, for example, if you're not having really good bowel movements, more than likely other things in your life and your health are not working properly. Or if you have anything that's compromised, your blood pressure is too high. Well, it's not just your heart we're concerned about. There are other things that we have to talk about that's contributing to the high blood pressure. Fertility is the same way. It's not just I haven't been able to conceive, or ever since I had my last baby, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4 miscarriages, or I haven't had a baby yet, and they've deemed me to be to have the term inexplicable infertility. There is a reason why, and this is where the rubber meets the road between Western medicine and holistic medicine. We look at you as a whole. We want to make sure your quality of life is great. That includes your sleep. So let's say you can't sleep well. You're lying down and you're tossing and turning for an hour. Well, if you've been doing that for a year, even a month, but many people with insomnia, they'll come in 1 year, 5 year, 10, 15 years, sleeping 2 to 5 hours a night and not getting restful sleep. That sleep pattern has become their normal, but that is not natural. And that is an ongoing theme that I've had since I've been in practice since 1999. We need to bring you back to natural. And so in this case, we're talking about making a baby. And the mission here at Natural Pregnancy and Fertility Specialists is to bring you to a state of natural health where you can conceive naturally. How did I at 43 conceive naturally and my periods since I was 20, since I started studying Chinese medicine, became perfect. 28 to 32-day cycles, bright red blood, no clots, no PMS, no pain, no headaches, a bunch of none, no breakthrough bleeding. It was perfect. And I'm 50 now. And up until I stopped having a period, my periods, since I started receiving acupuncture when I was 20, became perfect. Not normal. You go to your traditional OBGYN, and women, if you have PMS, oh, that's all right. Just take a Midol. Just take an Advil. The cramps are normal. No, no, no. They're not, they've become your normal, but it's not natural. So I use my own health because I had messed up periods when I was in my teens and when I started studying Chinese medicine. And I remember I had a doctor as a teacher telling me, this is what your period has to be. And it was a male. And I was thinking to myself, you don't know what you're talking about because every woman has PMS. Every woman has PMS. And I was 20. I was no longer a teenager. I thought I was, like, this is the way life is. And then as I started receiving not just acupuncture and not just herbs, but started living a really healthy lifestyle congruent to Mother Nature, living with the elements, not going against Mother Nature, not going against what's natural, eating better, living a better lifestyle, getting proper sleep, receiving proper nutrition, and not just no carbs, low carbs, higher protein. Not It was Chinese medicine. We do things a lot differently. And in this world of natural healing, we're basically living with Mother Nature, not against. And therefore, you're creating a harmonious period. Fertility is one element of your health. If a person has chronic pneumonia, they're walking around with pneumonia every year. Oh, every October I get bronchitis. Well, that's you. That's not natural. Oh, every period I get a headache. No, no, no. That's become your normal. Just because other women, are having PMS, we've normalized that. but that's not natural. Once couples start working with me, and in this case, in the woman's side, she starts learning. I give her a handout that says, this is what your period should be. And this is when couples work with me and the mommies do what I advise them to do. 100% of the time, their periods, they're like, I've never had such a beautiful period. A beautiful period is bright red blood, no clots, no PMS, and it's smooth. It's not this, chaotic. Oh, my period last month it was 21 days, and or some women it's like I haven't had a period for 75 days, and I haven't had, unless I take the pill, then I'm not going to have a period every month. No, no, no. Until they work with me, they'd never heard the word. That's not natural. Having headaches is not natural. Having migraines, having cramps, those really bad cramps, having endometriosis, having PCOS, that's not natural. And when people say, well, my mom had it, my grandma had it, well, that was their normal. But then when they start working with me, and then lo and behold, their OBGYN was like, wow, it used to be stage 4 endometriosis and now it's stage 2, or there used to be a fibroid there and now it's significantly smaller. What are you doing? How is this happening? Or the women who have gotten pregnant over 40 years old and they were told, you can't get pregnant. And I have women who are mommies now, naturally conceived, and they're like, you have diminished ovarian, diminished ovaries. You're too old, basically. Your female hormones, your female organs, your gynecological organs are just too old. And then they hear that, but then they do the IVF, they do IUI, and they can't get pregnant. And they spent a lot of money and time chasing a baby the way they were advised. And then they meet me. And then what do? We work on making their bodies become natural again. They become natural. And guess what happens? 3, 6, 9 months later, when they go back to their fertility specialist or traditional fertility specialist, but they just want to get the lab tests. And then their doctors, 99.9% of the time, say, what are you doing? Because your ovaries, your uterus, look like that of a 27-year-old, of a 25-year-old. So they did nothing else. The other acupuncturists, the other Chinese medical doctors did not deliver the same results. And that's because it wasn't just the acupuncture. It wasn't just the herbs. It was a full program that I created over 20 years. And when I look at how we execute this program, not only do your periods get better and the dad's sperm quality and quantity improve, the whole, the semen analysis is, how did this happen? The doctors are astonished. And right when they get astonished, mommy and daddy start getting to this place where they're over 35, they're over 40, they're over 43. They are having more faith in their bodies, because nothing changes a person's opinion about their bodies until they see the lab test for dad, or he used to not be so, not just so virile, but wanting sex because he was always so stressed out. Fertility for daddy, a lot has to do with the stress level as well as for mommy. So let's talk about papa. I get a lot, I get a lot of stress and anxiety. And so the results are the semen analysis, but the things that dads tell me is, the erection's better, it's lasting longer, they're happier. On the other end, also regarding the libido for mommy, she now has a libido. She wants to have sex. It's longer, they're happier, they're connecting better. The priorities for each other is much stronger because that's natural. You guys are not friends trying to have a baby. You guys are a couple that got together and wanted to create a life, a family. And so going back to fertility isn't just one piece, it's a bigger whole. It's like sleep. Sleep is going to sleep, good sleep or lack of sleep is going to affect your health. How your periods are is definitely, it tells me what your life is like. It tells me what your libido is like. Daddy, for you, if you cannot easily have an erection, especially if you're around your wife and you worked all day, there's some things that we're going to have to do to adjust your lifestyle. You know, most people are not willing to adjust their work habits. So, because they got to make money and all that. So I have to adjust other things. We have to modify other things. If the true intention is to have a baby, and I've had 3, and my youngest, he wasn't just born when I was 43, he was over 9 pounds. That is a healthy baby, full term. And I keep going back to that in many of my videos and here in consultation. Do you just want to get pregnant and have this concern? Am I going to carry to full term? You know, am I going to have another miscarriage? I was never concerned, ever, when I got pregnant, ever. Over 35, they call you a geriatric mom. And that can be true if you're not living a healthy lifestyle. If the truth is fertility is one aspect of your health, why was I so confident in my geriatric years of being a pregnant mom, 36 and 43? It's because I've been receiving acupuncture since I was 20. I've been taking herbs. I've been taking the right supplements. I've been living a great life in regards to health. You know, proper exercise, not overdoing it, not underdoing it. There's a healthy balance. Every woman is different. Every man is different. I know I'm kind of moving around a little bit, but I'm going to go back to Daddy. Daddy, it is imperative that your stress level and whatever you think, it's very hard sometimes for some men to admit that they have anxiety. But if you're here in the USA or some Western culture, but especially here in Orange County, the cost of living is high. And there is, for many people, this keeping up with the Jones things. And so when people come to see me and they want to have a baby, I like to keep it very simple. Babies don't need much. You guys need each other, and that's it. I'm going to do my job to make sure Daddy has an amazing libido and he can have an erection and enjoy sex with his wife who really enjoys sex. And it's not just during ovulation. That is so important. None of my mommies, and you can, you know, I can go over case over case over case over 2 decades. None of my mommies check their basal temperature. I don't care about it. That's not what I was taught. That's not how I got pregnant. And that's what none of my patients do that. We don't check the basal temperature, and I never check ovulation. Never. And I have a 91+% success rate in helping couples conceive babies naturally. So how do we do this? How do you have a great erection? How do you not have a dry vagina? Because that is a big deal for us women. And that's a topic that many women don't want to discuss until I bring it up. I've worked with many clients in the past when I used to take natural IUI and IVF patients. And I found, hands down, when you work with a traditional fertility specialist, they do not ask about your sex. It goes straight to IUI, it goes straight to IVF, and there's never any conversation about your sex life. There's never any conversation, at least that's what I'm told. I've never seen an IVF doctor myself. I'm getting data from my patients over 2+ decades. Like, how is it that they don't address what you're eating, how you're sleeping, you know, how your bowel movements are, you know, how's your blood pressure, how's your stress at work, how's your sex life, which is the most important part of the conversation when it comes to making a baby? Why does it have to go straight to drugs? Why does it have to go straight to, invasive therapy when all you have to do is live a healthy lifestyle? So that's what we provide here, is getting you back to living with, according to the circadian rhythm of life. I'm pretty certain for whatever you believe in, that thousands or whatever you believe that we've been here on the planet, that many women compared to now did not have fertility issues. And yes, we had different expectations of us as a gender. But let's just go back less than a couple hundred years. You could go back 100 years. Why did my grandparents, my grandmas, both of them have 11 children, conceive naturally, carry to full term, deliver twins, breech naturally at home? We have intervened in our lifestyles on this planet. We've intervened with the wrong foods, the wrong thinking habits, the wrong lifestyle, working way too much, prioritizing the wrong things. For us women, we need to prioritize our men. If you want a baby, you have to make time for your man. And men, it is imperative that you work, but you also need to take care of yourselves. Do nothing after work and just chill, which means women, allow your man to do nothing after work. So fertility isn't just one piece, it's part of a bigger whole. Don't isolate your hormones. Oh, I can't get pregnant because my T3 is off. Oh, I can't get pregnant because my testosterone level is too high. Or I can't get pregnant because I've been diagnosed with PCOS. Or I can't get pregnant because I've been diagnosed with endometriosis or a fibroid. I had a cyst. I had a pretty good sized cyst. I didn't know. And I still got pregnant at 43. And they didn't touch it when I gave birth. They were like, not doing anything. Men, pay attention to your lifestyle. It's not just about work. And we will talk about that more privately, especially your desire to have sex and how often you're having sex. And we, mommy and daddy and myself and our team here, we will discuss the importance of your sex life, among other things. We're talking about fertility, and you're talking about your whole life. We'll be talking about every aspect, which is usually how you're managing your stress, how you're managing, prioritizing work over the two of you, how you're eating, if there's exercise, if you're over exercising, and like we want to get you as a whole. That's why it's called holistic medicine. You as a whole, not just let's look at my hormones and see why I can't get pregnant. All right. So when you're ready to commit to this program, we here at Natural Pregnancy and Fertility Specialists have over a 91% success rate. The plan is laid out for you. And if you do what we advise, and everyone here is trained by me, when you follow the protocol that I so meticulously created since 1999, you can be like me and have a surprise baby at 43, if not earlier.